Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today, and welcome to the Innovate Possibilities Season 2. In this masterclass, we will be looking at the power of print, and we are really excited for the session um, where we've lined up industry experts both from design and print to understand how print has become a powerful tool today and what role it plays in building brands of today and tomorrow. Before we move forward, I would like to mention how we'll be going about conducting the session. So firstly, we'll have the industry expert, Kunal, Ashok, and Saifi presenting their ideas to us. And after their presentations, we'll open up for an interactive Q&A from everybody. But do keep dropping in your questions in the Q&A and keep putting in whatever questions you have for all of us, because we can ensure then that Kunal and the rest of the team will keep responding to them. So without much ado, I would like to introduce our first guest, Kunal Rawat. Kunal is a creative director at Landor & Fitch, whose work brings Indian contemporary design to the forefront. And with over 20 years of industry experience, Kunal began his career by co-founding Brandmother India, a pioneering move to start a brand and design agency when the Indian market was full of advertising houses at that point. From startups to corporates, Kunal has successfully worked across varied industries like aviation, banking, consumer goods, exhibitions and events, fashion and lifestyle, hospitality, sports, and government initiatives. And some of the renowned names that he has worked with are Hinduja Healthcare, British Council, Godrej, to name a few. So please welcome Kunal to present his ideas on the power of print.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Let me just share my screen. Hi. So hopefully everyone can see my screen.
Yes, we do.
Great. So hi, everyone. I'm Kunal Rawat. I'm the creative director at Landor & Fitch India. And for people who might not know what's Landor & Fitch, Landor & Fitch is a global brand transformation company. And we are across the globe, around 19 different countries. And today, I will be speaking about the power of print. And actually, when I was reached out by Ashok and Nitin for this particular topic, I definitely knew that this is some topic which is really close to my heart because I love print. I have so many different collections of books and stuff, which I would have loved to show you as well. And I was quite torn between showing you real stuff, showing you something in my presentation. So I've landed up showing something which I will show you in my presentation today. But I actually, when they said, Kunal, you have to restrict it to something which is related to print, not including packaging and stuff, and more related to brand graphics. So it kind of made me dig into all the work at LNF, or look at the different potential and really probe into this lens of seeing what work which we have done, which truly really embraces the power of print and really embraces that and showcase. So we have a series of work which are part of Landor & Fitch global work as well as India, and would like to take you through that. So let's start with it. I mean, with such big tectonic shifts in current times, with technology really pushing and advancing in such rapid pace, we all are asking and we are questioning everything which is around us, the things we use, things we consume, the way we behave, the way we interact. We are questioning everything around us. And when it comes to design, of course, this is one of the biggest questions all the designers are asking themselves or asking within the design fraternity or their forums or within their friends, like, is print really dead? Or, is print even really needed at all? And I think these are really good questions because it really, as designers, we really need to probe, like, as the things are evolving and changing, the purpose of things also needs to evolve. And really, we need to recontextualize and rethink about how and what's the best way of using a medium itself. So to understand this particular feeling which we are feeling, the whole sense of the print is dead, or is it dead, or answer this particular question. What I've tried to do is look into some patterns in the history which will help us in understanding and being more open-ended in terms of the situation, or how do we take to the advantage and move forward within the print. So, I mean, this is a really great saying from one of our big analysts, Samir Husni, which says, print is a technology which is 500 years old and it doesn't need charging, no battery, and it doesn't need outlets. So I think that's a really good point. Print has sustained such a long course of year, and it has changed a lot as well. Its meaning, its relevance. And when we start looking deeper into the history, we start looking at the creative or the art form. And when we see that in 1800s, when photography came into picture, like, photography really democratized art. And it had two impacts, not just on one side, but at one side, earlier the art was all about great portraits of the kings and the queens and the family, which very painstakingly the artist used to render realistic paintings. But when photography came in, it was not capturing your portrait or a family picture or your own self-portrait was more affordable by photography, and everyone could access that, right? So on the people side, it had helped them democratize art, and for that time, making a portrait, having a family picture was considered an art which you put on your walls. But at the other side, it also liberated the artist itself from really trying to create realism. And that's how we had a birth of modern art, and where the artist didn't have to really work within the realm of realistic or trying to do something which the camera could do. And hence the birth of modern art. And it really makes, that has liberated art in a big way. So photography kind of liberates art. And then as we go closer at photography during the 1900s and the camera technology advancing, we see the image making, the idea of image making itself was democratized by, making much more, whether it's Kodak and other kind of brands like Polaroid, making cameras which any commoner could buy and take a picture of their own. It didn't stay within the realm of expert or the specialized photographer per se. And what it did on the other side is for the photographers as well, when the image making process was so easy and everybody was taking their own pictures and stuff, even for photographers, there were a lot of good photographers who were pursuing photography as an art. But the more and more easy access to cameras, the more and more photography as an art was appreciated, and more photographers really produce some beautiful photography work which is considered an art. And now we know that photography is a very well accepted art form in the art fraternity, as well as in people's homes as well. And at 2000, we see the whole rise of graphic art and where what is design. And of course, the main germ is aspect of the design, illustration, and the differentiating between art and design. But we see a big rise of graphic art coming in, whether it is modern art galleries specifically for design or graphic art across the globe, brands which are taking graphic as their core medium and taking it to the world through different expression, whether it's graphic prints or even lifestyle products as well. So what we see, this is like a cyclic pattern of rebirth, repurpose of medium. So a new medium comes in, it changes shift, it makes it a lot accessible, but it also, what it does, the people who are doing a genre before helps them to recontextualize or repurpose their medium and re-question what is the medium all about. And from there comes a beautiful form of art or an expression which is not bound by demand, but by expression. And we all, at the current time, we are thinking with the birth of AI going digital, every artist and designer is feeling the threat of AI, right? We worry that AI will make artists absolute, like will we need, or they will be designed auto-generated from algorithms, and algorithm will do half of the job. Uh, and and to that point, I think it's a really interesting saying which I resonate from Arn. He's the principal scientist at Adobe. He says these new tools, any technological advancement, whether it's digital tools or any kind of printing tools, these are really open up enormous opportunities for creativity and art. And it is, they are not here to replace an artist, but instead of that, they are here to empower us. So I think that's, we all as designers need to take this into our stride and have that kind of a lens or a perspective. And as we grow, we know this, everything is changing. Surfaces are changing, printing, like there's no more paper, multiple surfaces, whether it's actual surfaces, the whole, the connotation or the meaning of surface is changing. Same thing goes with ink. Like, what is ink and what can be made of ink? There are so many different, with bio inks coming in and you know, creating organs there. The definition are really getting challenged with the status quo. And of course, technology, which is rapidly changing and really challenging the norm per se. But what is it really, so all this past and the present really, I personally believe that we as designers, like, we are at a really interesting cusp in the change where we are seeing some rapid change in technology, but at the same time, we are rooted in a lot of interesting stuff. And how do we recontextualize? So for us, for me, what I feel is the print is not dead. It's print is transforming and transforming in a good way, and it's a meaningful way, I think. And that meaningful way is something we all as designers need to find and see the true power of print and bring to the forefront itself. And we all know we are in the era of end of the era of overprinting. Like, overprinting is over. Like, you know, there used to be a time when we used to print for anything, leaflets, pamphlets, just print. And now I think we all as designers and people, we all responsibly ask, do we really need this medium in print? And do we really need to spend so much money? Or at the neat aspect of nature, the sustainability comes in. There are a lot of questions which comes to our mind, and which are good. And I think, because then what we are going to do is we're going to be more selective, be more purposeful, be more innovative and more creative how we use print as a medium. And with the whole flux of, like we had mentioned about the digital medium in our life, we are questioning every touch point whether we really need that, right? Hence, I think the purpose of print and printed material needs to be redefined. And I think with some of the cases I will show you, there are some glimpses which I feel really draws attention to of what print has uniquely to offer. So I feel print is very exclusive. Print can be very super exclusive. This is a project which we did for when I was in Landor. We created this really interesting thought leadership piece on packaging, and it was all printed by Silkscreen, hand printed by Silkscreen. And we had only 100 copies of this, went to only exclusive top 100 clients of ours. And there was a system we had put on a digital tool as a response system, only understanding what did they thought about the content. And when I say exclusive is not just because of the print run itself, but also exclusive because the content which is there in this, you will never find in Google. These are the content which is, there are thought leadership where people have articulated their thought through with their share of experience, put together in a point of view and crafted and put together in a piece of this beautiful piece of design. So the really big tabloid, all done in still screen and goes into particular role. And we kind of gave homage to our own Indian art, and we revive old Indian art, whether it's matchbox art or whether it is the firecracker art, and recontextualize and showcase some of our work in that style. The short film, which I'll play, which will show you the process and the idea of this project. I also feel print is theater. I mean, the stuff which we can do with print and to arrive at the final work for print, there's so much interesting experimentation, exploration, right from printing, ink, paper, shoot, photography. There are so many different forms which you could really bring in. And this is one of our poster designs, which we did for our internal awards. And we kind of created this with actual handcrafted layered papers and conceptual illustration really done in this 3D style pop-up in kind of a whole structure, which we created very meticulously cut out each and every layer, which has different concepts to really arrive to this beautiful series of posters, which had real insights of awards, the work of Landor and Fitch, which was won awards in the past, showcased in this beautiful silhouettes as part of the new asking for entries for the next round of awards. I also think the print is purposeful, and I think to really make it draw a point, you could use print to its most effectiveness. And this is a project which is part of a Landor and Fitch very proud CRS project, which we did in Africa. And this was about a particular testing for kids, a program which was run, and it was not getting too much traction, and not too many people were coming forward, and we were tasked to rebrand it. And the simple idea of branding was about how many lives have we touched, how many kids have we saved. And this dynamic identity was the number behind the logo is something as and when every day they save a new child, it's really, and they can dynamically change that. So that's a really interesting side. We think the print, we think as a design.
The idea behind the new logo is simple. Each time Jantoli cures a child, it is +1 life saved, and another, and another. So the Jantoli logo is a counter that evolves in real time as each life is saved. It is a living identity, a permanent and free communication campaign about the efficiency of Jantoli that powerfully engages its audience around one common goal: make the number grow.
I also feel the print is expressive. I mean, there are so many ways which we can express in print. And this is one of the beautiful examples from Landor and Fitch, France. We did for a ballet company where the visual language was all created by the movements of the ballet dancers itself. Almost the ballet dancer was doing calligraphy has done calligraphy on the floor, and we have taken those particular patterns and really taken that into our all poster communication and the graphic language as well. I also think a print is a beautiful medium of expression, and whether it's self-expression, an idea, expression of an idea, or your own story. It could be poetries, and I think this is one of the piece from one of our designers from Landor and Fitch, Pavitra Dikshit, and I think this is a limited edition book she made of her own salads. And this is something which is personal, and these are salads what she has invented herself. But I think idea of sharing that with the world in a form of all self-publication, I think is really powerful, and it could be really meaningful as well. And it's of course beautifully crafted as well. So that's, I think, print can be really be part of an expression as well. And I think print has so much of semiotic that it has the ability to throw an attitude, right? And I think there's so many tangents of semiotic: touch, smell, sound, color, and visual. There is so many different ways we can bring an attitude, and because it has the power of so many senses as well. And this is a book which we did for Old Spice when we rebranded Old Spice into a more younger, more cheeky approach towards, and this was a brand book, which we call the man's book, which was created in this old leather book style, and kind of a very vintage approach, but a very cheeky approach towards a very fun copy. And the whole manual was more like a spoof. But I think it was a super engaging piece. It's got recognized at a lot of awards as well, where just how a brand personality can come through a small piece of book. I think this is an epitomize that particular idea, and so much a one book can say about a brand. And I think print can be experiential. Just the whole tactility of print, and how now with new technology, things can be printed on different surfaces, different ways of techniques. And I think just it's not about just looking at it, but it's all about feeling it, touching it as well, in a not just in a small confined space of your hands, but also a really in large, massive scale and volume as well. And this is one of our hospitality work, which was really embraces the kind of printing and stuff on the actual spatial spaces space as well. And I think this is something which is everyone is doing, and everyone is questioning that how can now, with the changing world, with everything is so personalized, every aspect is so digitally personalized, can print be also personalized as well? And I think with the use of the right technology, embracing technology, we really can make the print world also very dynamic and very fluid. And this is one of our clients where we kind of created an app or on the website itself, where anyone could come and create their own cards and send it for print, which they can then get that delivered to their homes. So here about engaging, it was inclusivity, really engaging the customer, but at the same time, it is using digital, but really embracing the final output in print as well. And then kind of you physically feel it and touch it as well. And I think print is luxury. I mean, nobody can say that, deny that, because the more and more we see the value what print brings, it's whether it's exclusively printed, the kind of paper, and now the whole thought, do we really need to print it? But there are certain things which you really can't do without print. And I think luxury and the luxury space, whether it's real estate, whether it's like hospitality, whether it's luxury brands, I think the use of print and graphics is really immensely intrinsically will be there, and it never will fade out. It will evolve, and it will get advanced. But I think the whole tactile and experiential feel is always there. And I think print is the only medium which can really truly bring out luxury in the most sensorial way than any other medium, I think. This is a holiday destination branding which we did, and inspired from your journals. This whole brand language really embraces that and brings that to the forefront as well. And lastly, and I would like to say, conclude, it's like the thing is print is alive, and I think instead of thinking technology, I think the technology can make the print come alive in such beautiful ways, such never thought before ways that probably even hand can never execute that. And I think that's the beauty we all need to understand, embrace, and really dig deeper. And this is one of our projects, a packaging design for a wine. I know I was asked not to show packaging design, but there are extensive work on this, which I think it'd be really worth to show, where we think it's the perfect amalgamation of being embracing digital and at the same time respecting print in its total as well. With that, I would like to conclude my session, and I would like to say, depart with this thought, saying that as designer, if we want to really thrive, I think we need to keep an open mind. We need to know that change is inevitable. We need to embrace new technology, experiment as much as possible with new technology, old technology, mix it together, use it to express in as many innovative way as possible to unleash the power of print. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Kunal. That was a very, very, very fascinating presentation. It's definitely got my creative juices flowing, and it's definitely got me thinking about all the insane possibilities with print that I think we've kind of closed off to. So this has really opened that up to us. Before moving forward to the other presenters, I had one question. Actually, we have a question from the guests. So especially the point that you mentioned about print being exclusive, which is a very interesting point, because I think nobody looks at print that way, about it being exclusive and giving an exclusive experience. So one question we do have is that there is a lot of competition happening with branding and in terms of the messaging that you want to give with your brand identity. And there's a lot also happening in terms of technology. So how can a brand keep up with this technology and get an edge over its competitors and ensure that they still appear exclusive, ensure that they still appear, have their unique voice out through print?
Good question. I think exclusivity is not just about just the technique, I would say. I think exclusivity is a lot with the concept idea, the intent of it, right? What are we trying to do? And it's all about experiences, right? We're talking about exclusive welcome kits for an apartment which you buy, which is of like, exorbitant price, right? That's exclusive. And the welcome kit for that needs to match that level of exclusivity. And that's a message which we are trying to say. So I think the message is important. And the case which we showed, it was really exclusive content, exclusively crafted by our leadership for handpicked clients. And I think so when we say that, when they feel that it's been such meticulously put together for them because they are, and it was on packaging. So we sent it to the clients we had old relationship with packaging, or they are in the world of packaging, the FMCG clients in luxury. So it was tailor made. And I think content is also exclusive. So I think it both hand it goes. Technology, technique should be used to enable a story, not the other way around. The story, the intent is important.
Right. Great. Thank you so much for that. So we have more questions pouring in, but before we address those, let's move to our other presenters. So we have, so I'd like to introduce our print industry experts, Ashok Pahwa and Saifi. A quick introduction for them. Ashok is a business manager at HP Indigo and specifically focused in India and Sri Lanka. And his career in printing technology spans nearly 2 decades, where he's been associated with companies like Technova, Xerox, and now HP. And owing to his industry experience, he has a deep understanding of designers' pain points and needs, especially with respect to print. So, and also he has a deep understanding of innovative possibilities with print technology based on designer needs. We also have Saifi, our other presenter. Saifi is the Chief Operating Officer of Silver Point Press Private Limited, which is one of India's leading commercial printers. He has been associated with Silver Point Press for nearly 30 years now. And he has quite an interesting journey where he started his career as a trainee on the shop floor and worked his way up to becoming a CEO today. Apart from this, he has launched another project called Print Nation, which is a marketplace for customized printing and also an online store for corporate prints. Using advanced technologies like cloud computing and so much more. So I'd like to hand over this session, the floor to Ashok and Saifi.
And good evening and namaste and sasrikal to all our participants. Kunal, beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. I never looked at print from the perspective which is shown to me today. It's an experience. Of course, it's an experience. It's an attitude, right? That's something which hits me the most. Print is an attitude. Now, what this attitude does for whom is something a designer and the people like you, who is the bridge between a brand and the consumer or the buyer, creates that kind of a right experience and right attitude as a reflection through that print. And that's something which is the need of the day today. So taking over to you from Kunal, the print is transforming, right? Print is, it's an experiential, it's going through different phases over the last so many years. But what really happened in last 18 months across the world, not even 18 months, let's say, but 24 months, including China into the picture now, right? After the COVID, there are so much of an acceleration which is done to the changes which were supposed to happen over a period of maybe 5 years or a decade, right? There's a there is a saying which clearly says some of the changes or the momentum which never happened for last 10 years, it actually happened in the last 8 months. This is how the ecosystem, this is how the whole world is the fast changing. And in this fast changing world, what is there in it for me as a designer, as a creative space influencer? How do I adjust to this? How is it do I need to become more agile? Do I need to become more innovative? Do I need to become more expressive? How do I cope up with the ever changing demand of my brands today? And that's where we say your time is now, right? Your time is now, my time is now, and staying the same won't give you staying power. Of course, whatever Kunal has said, whatever was happening before, if I keep doing the same, I will get what I was actually getting earlier. And let's see it from a different perspective. Let's see it from a brand perspective now, because at the end of the day, we all are working for some brand. We are all working for some clients. We are working for some people or brands or individuals who give us something which is called as a top line for our business. And this is where it makes a lot of interesting introspection for us to see what my brand is actually going through. If the whole of the world is changing, if the consumer is changing, if the whole of the market is changing, the ecosystem is so dynamic, what is that my brand is actually going through? And looking at, speaking to a lot of brands, we have come to, top 5 reasons for the designers, for the creative agencies to actually change your next print strategy. I'm using a word called as a print strategy because print is exclusive. This is what I learned from Kunal today. And the first and the foremost from a brand, what brand says to me is what actually Kunal has just said. Exclusive. It's a premiumization that has to happen. And why premiumization that has to happen is because if I'm a consumer today, I am craving for a premium return in exchange of my brand loyalty. Yes, I am a brand loyal, but in return to my brand loyalty, I expect brand to make me feel premium through the experiences of the communication. And print is the most innovative one. And we will actually go in detail with this, how to make this print more premium with the current age of the technologies. Apart from a premium, we know that in this whole world of a digital space, every brand now wants to enter into a personal space of a consumer or a personal space of a buyer. This is where the personalization more and more targeted to a one particular individual. The communication towards individual is coming into play, and there are various techniques and tools which is available to actually do that. But this is where the brand is looking forward to help from a design space today. Going from personalization, definitely there is a lot of emphasis which is given onto the budget because of what had happened in last 18 months. Now in last 3 months, there is a budget. Of course, the brand has a budget today, but what they are looking forward from you is each of the marketing campaign which is getting designed today has to have a higher efficiencies, which means they look forward for more ROIs from those campaigns. And if I need to actually give more ROIs, what I need to deliver is I cannot go for a mass communication or reaching out to the audience where my hit ratio is less than 2% or a 1%. Campaigns, marketing campaigns, communication campaigns are getting versionized. They are getting more targeted towards a one particular audience, which means I need to use a tool which is targeted to one particular segment or an audience. This is where again, technology comes into picture. And of course, with this change of an environment where everything can change tomorrow, meet the market faster becomes the utmost priority for a brand. I can't wait for a day or a two. If I need to launch anything today, if I need to launch any product services today, I have to do it now, right? And my tat of launching a new product is also actually have come down, drastically from 6 months to 2 months to 15 days now. During the lockdown, we have actually seen new products getting launched every 15 days. So meeting the market faster is definitely a need of the day for the brand. And last and most important is they want to be sustainable. They want to be responsible. And how do we as a design community, as a creative community can actually take forward all these 5 major need of or the the wish list of a brand to actually change into a print strategy? And the answer to which is these becomes the top 5 reason for us to make your print strategy becomes digital. When it comes to print, it becomes digital. Now we'll actually discuss in detail, one or two aspect of this. We'll discuss in detail the premiumization, we'll discuss in detail the sustainability, and we will look forward to some classic example of how do we really go and meet the market faster and get the better efficiencies and the ROIs. Now, coming back to the first and foremost is the experiential experience through print, luxury through print, reflection of a brand through print. And believe me, today is a time which is the most powerful time that we as a designer or you as a designer have because of the technology which is available from, there is a big technological change which has happened over a period of time. Some people may be aware of it, some people may. What's really happening is, this one particular aspect of changing technology, making that product more meaningful, more luxury. And how do I do it? I am making a bold statement here. If it can be imagined, as a creative people, we imagine a lot of stuff, and then with the help of a digital technology, we actually put it on a screen also. But when it comes to print, we struggle. But I can make this statement: if it can be imagined, it can be printed, and we can make every print looks wow. How do I make prints look wow? There are two major elements of it beyond the wow design that you have created. Right, you have spent a lot of time, you brainstorming, you have put a lot of energies into it, a lot of man hours into it to create a beautiful design. Now, how do we enrich those designs to make it little more effective or make it strongly more effective? The first and the foremost comes is the number of colors that I use in my design. And trust me, this becomes the most important element of the discussion today, where we'll talk about how the ink on a paper can make a simple design looks wow design as well. The first and the foremost is we are talking about anything beyond CMYK. We are not discussing CMYK here at all. Orange, violet, and green. These are the three ink, the standard inks. If you go to any HP, Indigo, the print service provider today, they are a 7-color machine, and the 7-color machine is CMYK plus 3 more station, which we normally use it for orange, violet, and green. If you see the print onto the screen, it looks beautifully well because of the colors which is being used. Not only these 3 color gives me a rich look of a print, but it actually helps me to actually increase the color gamut. All right, from whatever color gamut that you see on CMYK, I can increase this color gamut to almost like, 2.5 times more by using 3 special inks. And what it helps to me as a designer, or you as a designer, is I can print the brand colors. If somebody is working with a Pantone shade, with the help of these 3 colors, I can actually address 97% of the Pantone shades by using these 3 colors. So ink becomes critical, right? Not only the brand colors, not only the Pantone colors, the luxury colors. And when we say luxury, nothing defines luxury more than a gold and a silver, right? So do I, as a designer, have an opportunity or a capability or a capacity to print my paper with a silver ink with not much of a questions mark attached with it, not much of a terms and condition attached with it. And this is the beautiful stuff which I'm going to show here. First of all, we are talking about something which is a very brand new ink, which is a silver ink. Yes, this is the same silver ink which is used by many of the industry experts on a packaging side, but they never capitalize the silver and gold ink for a commercial work because it is too cumbersome to print, those kind of an ink. But believe me, for us, it is as easy to print silver ink as CMYK. And what it does to me is actually it creates a document which is beyond imagination. They look super luxury. If you see this one particular, the menu card, it is printed for the Nobel event for 2018. And theme of that event was actually gold. And if you see the gold invites, you see the gold, the whole of the menu card, it comes out flawlessly well. And moreover, it is personalized. Everyone is getting their own name printed onto that menu card because they are sitting on that one particular table. This is what the inks makes a lot of, emphasis onto the luxury. Not only the silver, I think if you see these 4 images, I really, die for the first image, which is this Black Beauty, which is printed on a black paper with a white ink. And when we see these prints, which is black paper printed with white, metallic paper printed with white, red color paper, craft color paper, craft board printed with white, it gives a different dimension to your creativity, right? Imagine the work that you're doing with some brands and you really come out with something like this as a print for a client or for a consumer or for a buyer. It never ever matches any other communication strategies that can come into play. White becomes an interesting tool for you to influence your brands, to influence, to create some of the designs which is white enabled and create those kind of a luxury experience. Not only the white, we are talking, very interesting ink today, which is fluorescent inks. Yes, fluorescent ink, fluorescent pink, fluorescent yellow, fluorescent orange, fluorescent green. Oh, wow, what that fluorescent means to me. Fluorescent inks are the inks, right? First of all, when you print these inks along with CMYK, you don't need to use any other, big creativity. The bold look that the fluorescent color gives to your artwork is unimaginary. It's not, you can't compare it with any of the competing products with it. It stands outside, and then if you want to really make a good experience out of it, if the light goes off, right, or under a UV light, your creativity looks like this. Believe me, if I can make this experience look beautiful to you, your brands who is into hospitality, who are into menu cards, who are into invites, who are into, the pub culture. Imagine the power of these fluorescent ink that can actually make a difference to their life. So make that use of these innovations into the ink creativity. We have already used, spot color in the packaging industry, but can I use spot color on a digital with a variable content? Wow. Which means I am sending out an invite to everyone where the name of a person is actually, raised with the clear spot ink. Yes, which was never ever a case earlier. Earlier spot means static. Can I make this spot variable? Definitely we can make this, spot variable with the raised ink that we have. If you are working with very, very loud color, with very, very vivid colors, you have vivid pink and vivid green inks with you. And what you get is, a very rich green color, a very rich pink color, the blues, the shades of red. And if you're working with mostly black and white artwork, there is a lot of black and white artwork which is getting created today. And when you go for a print, you keep struggling because that the black and white doesn't come as a black and white. You always struggle with this. For all of you who are into black and white space today, would you love to actually create black and white artwork? We have introduced something which is called as the light black ink. So you can print your artwork with two inks only, black ink and light black. And the gray stability that you get on your artwork, if you see the pictures which is printed with black and a light black, you can't compare it with any other way of printing these beautiful black and white pictures. So these are the different inks which is used for making the print more luxury. Now there are few functional inks also that we have. We have seen the scratch cards. When it comes to a scratch card, we always see that maybe if somebody remembers, we had these cash cards of top up voucher, and what you have is a gray color screen printed adhesive which is put, and what we do is we scratch and there is a number beneath this. Can we make this application to the most interesting application as a loyalty cards? Can we make this application the application where I can print on top of a scratch itself? Yes, I can print on top of a scratching. This is what it makes this scratch most innovative technique in the world today to print on any of the loyalty cards and the items. So if you see this one, you have one cartoon which is already printed, and if you scratch this cartoon, what you have is you actually have a your 20% discount, 10% discount, or any interactive QR code which you want to interact with these guys at all. So these are the functional links that we have with us, which can make experience more and more engaging. Not only the experience, if you want to really get into something which is more security enabled, you want to give the experience, or you want to give authentication or security enablement to your client or a brand, we do have something which is called as an invisible inks with us. So we have invisible yellow, we have invisible blue. Of course, when I say invisible, it doesn't it doesn't appear to a naked eye, but the moment I actually put a UV light, you can see all those elements which is printed. You can make it as an experience because we have many books for the children. This interest of time, I'm not playing that video. Many books for the children, which is actually getting printed with the invisible ink, and then you have a beautiful UV light where the kids can actually enjoy this book. Now, coming back from inks, we have seen a lot of inks that is available to you today to make a print more engaging, more experiential, more luxury. But what about the medias? Of course, when it comes to making things luxury, media cannot be avoided. And thanks to HP, right, we have a technology where we can print on virtually any substrate. All right, we have 3,500 substrate which we have already tested, and it is working fine with us. Just to give you an example, if you see this wood veneer, this is an actual wood that we have printed for a brand to give that antique look to that one particular brand. You can't make this experience by any other any other type of a paper. This is the real time wood veneer which is printed. Not only wood veneer, we can actually print on different varieties of Tyvek, polycarbonate, species, plastics, you name it, and you can actually print it with the help of our PSP and the provider. So this is where it makes the print more exotic, more luxury. And how do we do it? Just to give you must be some of the designers sitting and saying, okay, this is all talk in the air. How do they do it? But the way we do it is actually with the special inks that we have. If you see what is coming onto the screen, you are using a beautiful paper. There is a Mont Blanc paper which I've selected for a beautiful coffee table book. And if you print with HP Indigo, what we do is actually, if you see this one in the last, the ink itself, it's an electro ink, inks itself take the shape of the paper and doesn't hide the paper. It is the transparent ink which takes the shape of the paper. With respect to all other technologies where you will spoil either the surface of a paper, or you hide a surface of a paper, or you really get into a surface of a paper, which is not the case with with Indigo at all. And not only this, we actually the technology which is behind this HP Indigo is the same technology that you have been using for many years. It's an offset based technology, but it is digital, which means you can print one copy, but with the same quality that you look forward, the highest standard of the quality that you look forward to. Now, making things luxury is one part by using the inks or by using the media. But when it comes to sustainability, believe me, the most important step towards sustainability today is to print what you want, when you want, and how much you want. This makes print more sustainable today, no wastages at all. And this is what makes digital as most important technology when it comes to the sustainability part of it. Beyond any, beyond this, we definitely are working with the brands to definitely have a, plastic recycling and all other, the policies which makes us more greener technology. We are following it's a CO2 neutral technology. But believe me, the moment you design for a digital, right, you are becoming a sustainable champion. So this is the most green and most sustainable technology to print today. Not only this, we have seen the 5 reasons to make your print strategy digital, in which we have discussed 3 of them. Let's understand the other 2, which is getting more personal and meet the market faster. For which I need the help of Sefi to come onto the screen, and I may ask a question with Sefi. Sefi, if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, but the
Okay.
video is not starting. I think Nandini needs to.
Okay, let me just try if I can. Okay, can you start your video now?
Yeah.
Okay, great,
Yeah.
great. Safi, welcome to the show. Right. Sure. We just wanted to give a right experience to the audience here, where they always think that when speaker comes, they show beautiful stuff onto the screen, but when they actually go to the printers, right, and their so-called their print service provider, they get many of a disappointing answer. Right. To bridge this gap, I invite you to this show, and thanks for joining this show. So first and foremost thing, when it comes to the luxury of a print, or making the print more premium, how do you see this, happening more into the space of the designers that you are dealing with today? You work a lot of designs. I understand, Silver Point works with a lot of designers and design community. So how does it working out with you from a Silver Point?
So basically, when we work with a designer, and many times designer comes out with very innovative ideas in terms of using very bright colors, using colors which are totally out of gamut colors, as you mentioned about the fluorescent ink and all that. So basically, with help of HP Indigo technology and using CMYK with orange, violet, and green and white, we try and achieve very close to what the designer has pursued or wanted to bring it on paper. So okay. That is like, we keep on interacting with the designers and try and achieve what they want, basically.
Okay, okay, good. Do you want to name any example that you have, or is it?
Yeah, I have few examples. I just share my screen just
Sure.
to show you what are the different applications we do.
Yes, please.
Yeah, can you see the screen?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So now what I'm showing you the example of, these are 2 book covers. One is a fashion catalog and one is a coffee table book. When these are printed on a metallized film, the cover are printed on a silver metallized film, and we have used white and faux color.
Wow.
So the entire thing looks like, wherever the areas, like for example, the title of the book, below the ink we have printed white so that the title is very visible and it's proper color. Whereas this entire illustration which is there, it's printed directly onto the silver with a slight shade of white on it, and the whole effect is a colorful metallic cover.
Absolutely.
And the second cover, which is a fashion catalog, wherein on the entire background is a silver metallic, but the entire floral design we have printed white below the floral design, and it is embossed and raised. So it actually looks like a carving on a stone, on a metal plate.
Right.
And
great.
Yeah. Same thing we have done for the peacock, which looks metallic, and the Jharoka, which is there. Again, we printed white on it and then faux color on it. So the whole effect, what we try and achieve is what exactly the client or the designer have in mind in terms of playing with, keeping certain object normal the way it should be and certain object metallic. But this can only be achieved when you use white and combination of faux color.
Oh, great. I think your example is much better than my example, which I shared on the screen. This is a beautiful example of a various shades of an, color, which is on white ink, with the white ink on a metallized paper.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
great. Yeah.
This is the second example which I want to showcase is basically using fluorescent pink. The
Yes.
fluorescent pink is basically we use for this cover, and it is becoming like when you look at this brochure, it's just the color is popping out.
Right.
And whenever the inside pages also, the like the second image what we're showing here is basically the inside gatefold cover, which also has a full fluorescent pink on it. So this actually the colors pops out so much. So when the catalog is lying on say on the dealer's table with so many other brands competing, this stands out because the color itself is so vibrant.
Beautiful.
This is the second example of using fluorescent orange. Now the similar thing we have tried to do by using fluorescent orange on it. On the cover, actually, we have done like, you can see the sheen of silver also. So the edge of the plate is silver, and there are textures printed onto the wood finish of the switch. So the whole thing is to make it look like real. And the background color is so like vibrant, it's just popping out.
Oh, great. I think these are beautiful example of what I shared on my presentation, and, looking at live the jobs that you have done. Yes, is great. So which means, everything is possible. It's just that, colors makes print looks more impressive.
Yes.
Second question, Safi, is just for the interest of time, I'm running a little faster now. When it comes to, meet the target market or meet the market faster, what is that you have in your kitty where you can help the designers to, to sit in their home and, work from their home, still get their project executed? If you can put some light, I know you have a beautiful web to print stations with you, where, sitting at home, I can order everything what I want, including the luxuries that we have seen can be ordered from home. So if you want to really put some light over there.
Sure. I was just sharing my Print Nation website. Hope you can see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So basically, the idea of having Print Nation online is basically to facilitate designers and print buyers to order print online. Like for example, if suppose a designer is working on a brochure, I'll just select the brochure. Okay. And as soon as you select that, you get different options like a standard brochure, premium brochure, textured paper brochure. Like for example, if the designer is working on a very premium, say a real estate brochure and wants to use a textured paper, just goes there, selects the option. Over here, you get all the options as what size you want to do, A5 size, A4 size, A3 size. Say for example, I'm doing an A3 size brochure. Okay, I'll put the quantity. Now, because it is digital, I can order as I require. It's print on demand. Like, so suppose today I require only 100 brochure. I'll just order 100. I have different options of paper available, like for example, Celine, Arte, E-Class, Montblanc, like which are normally used for this kind of work. And straight you get the estimated cost and you upload the design. Moment you upload the design, immediately you'll get a confirmation mail if you have got that design. If there is any issue with the design, immediately they will get a communication. If there is no issue with the design, straight the artist will get all the email confirmation. It is printed, it is on the fabrication, it is dispatched. So the whole experience what we want to create is basically they can buy print sitting at home, office, wherever they want. They can do it from the mobile phone, and they don't need to call anybody, don't need to follow up anybody. Everything is possible online, and they will get all the information pertaining to their job in terms of the progress, everything sent to them through emails.
Wow. Wow. Looks beautiful, actually. Yes, sitting at home without even calling up Safi, I can get my job done. It is delivered to. What is the tag that you normally look forward to for these kind of a job, Safi?
See, we do booklets, brochures, posters, calendars, everything. All the products which
different
are
applications. Okay. Okay. Yes. And what is the lead time that you normally, is it quick? It is very fast?
It's normally once the artwork gets uploaded, on the third day it is shipped out, and the fourth day it is delivered.
Wow. So 72 hours is what the lead time is there, and without any intervention, with a lot of update. Great. Thank you so much, Safi. Within interest of time, we will cut short our discussion and we'll move back to Nandini. Nandini, over to you. I think we will definitely put this link of printnation.in into the chat box where everybody can actually access to the website and experience, on their own. Thank you so much, Mr. Safi. Nandini, over to you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ashok. Thank you so much, Safi. That was really fascinating and interesting, and to actually from the technical side to understand actually the possibilities. because we have as designers, we have big dreams and big ideas, but to actually see how is it technically possible is really, really helpful. We have one question though, is that specifically in terms of this technology that is available, how can a designer, experiment with all these methods, all these technology before they go to their clients or go to their brands? How can they explore all these options?
Oh wow, that's that's something which I want them to be associated with. Say, as Safi has said, it's a digital technology, right? And most of these technology can be experienced by, if you have your own design, just send it to Safi, get it printed with a number of colors that say, if you ask me, we always every individual create their own experience kit. Right. And when I say every individual create their own experience kit, as a creative, a designer also, I can print as many numbers of my creativity with as many numbers of the possibility of ending, with as many numbers of the media which is available with the help of Safi, and make my own portfolio. Once I do that, once the portfolio is created, it is easy for me to actually show it to the client, right? And tell them if they work with this ink on this kind of a paper, this is how it will look like. All right. For me, it becomes a salesman for me, and that's what is many of the designers are actually doing today with Safi from a Silver Point. They are creating, because we can print one single copy of an artwork. We don't have any limitation on to number printing of 100 to 105. No, if you want 10 portfolios copies, we will only print 10 copies of each. Give it to you. Let it become your salesman, and let it do the work that you do. It's possible. It's real today, Nandini.
That's great. That's great. Okay, we have actually a question for Kunal. It says, what is by Adityan? What is your opinion on print losing its value once it reaches the user? For example, the packaging on the Brut wine bottles, once opened, doesn't the outer wrapper lose all its value?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. I think the value, and I think also Ashok pointed out about sustainability. And if you're a good designer, you're using a FSC approved paper, you're already being conscious about the raw material. First of all, where is it coming? And of course, you can go to higher level as well as the kind of ink which is used and how that. But of course, there is packaging. Is always a use. You will always see in any kind of industry, it lifespan is shorter. Of course, the purpose of packaging partly is storage, partly is unboxing. And I think it's a good question that as a designer as well, we need to be conscious about, even we don't go into such extent that it feels really going against, when you don't need so much of packaging, you're over packaging. And that's always the task for us. Like, when we work for Nestle, we work for other brands in packaging, and always the way we start visualizing it is how to minimize the structure, how to minimize the robust, because the packaging needs to be robust and also have the right brand appeal. So that's where I think so, and using the right materials.
Okay, great. Okay, I think we're running out of time, so maybe we just cover like another one or two questions. We have another question by, one second. Yeah, we have another question by Lavanya, where she asks us that, how can you go about branding in terms of print, in terms of limited resources? So not, a brand that is at a larger scale, but I'm guessing she means, the smaller
brand.
Yeah.
How can we go about it? I mean, I think, in fact, I find that more challenging as a designer, right? Like if you have limited, I love limited budgets. I mean, I thrive on budgets as well. And I thrive on endless possibilities as well. But I think as a designer, what is important is, first of all, recommend mediums which is relevant for your client. Now, you can't recommend a medium which is go put a print ad, go do posters, when the target audience is not going to be there. So I think as a designer, our consultancy is also finding that what is that touch point? Is it an FMCG product? Is it a service? Where the catchment area? And then strategically plan the most effective medium which we can use and use that to our advantage. I think that's the first part of designer, to be more strategic. And I think Ashok used this point about print strategy. And I think if you combine both, like there is a brand strategy, but also the client is saying we have certain limited budget to do the marketing. And that's how you can, with the brand, without diluting the brand's core value. You, of course, you don't want to make it look cheap, right? So, but keeping the brand value and keeping the know-how of the budget, come up with the most innovative idea. I think that's the right solution for a designer, not going all out that I can't use this. I won't be not able to use 7 colors. Or in fact, now Ashok is saying even 7 colors is possible. So, those dreams are also now becoming so achievable as technology is advancing. So I think there is a lot of possibilities, but you have to be smart and make it relevant.
Absolutely. I think adding on to what Kunal has said, earlier, okay, I'll give it a slightly different flavor when a brand comes in and when they talk about their budget. So what they have in their mind is, everything is mass communication. Everything is, they want to reach out to everyone at the same time. But what they don't realize is what is the ROI of those campaigns, and they don't know that they can reach out to their target audience by actually printing something which is more relevant to that audience only. Right. And I think this is where we as a designer can create this kind of an awareness. I know it is, sometimes it is against the total, ticket size of the project. If I recommend some, smaller print budgets, but, relevant print budget, but believe me, it has a lot of value to the client. It has a lot of value to the brand. And with the current ecosystem of new brands coming into, India is a startup country now. And we have, every day there are many, many brands coming in. Of course, they have this challenge. I think this idea of as Kunal has said, the best design strategy coupled with best print strategy targeted to the relevant audience in terms of a number can become the best of the strategy for next few months and years to come.
Great. Thank you so much. That was really very helpful to understand how to go about this. I think this brings us to the end of our session. We've overshot our time as well. Apologize to you guys for that, but I hope this has been really, really valuable to you all. And I thank Kunal for the insightful presentation and the eye-opening ways of how print can be used and perceived. We will be answering, we're seeing more questions coming in, and we will be answering them offline. So we will be responding to you all via email. Thank you so much, everyone.
Sure. Thank you so much, Nandini. Thanks, Kunal. Thank you, participants and audience, for this patience listening. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. Take care.